Alright, so we have a Zenith AM/FM all transistor. So this is a real early transistor set that I picked up at the auction, and it still has the lot number on it, and it looks like it even has one under it. So this one's been passed around a few auctions before it made its way here. This looked like a pretty early Zenith set, so I thought I'd pick this one up. When I first looked at it, I thought it was a transoceanic, but no, unfortunately it's not. It's just an AM/FM version, probably in the same or similar cabinet as a transoceanic. So this thing is pretty old, and I remember looking at it and it had the germanium transistors in it, so and it kind of looked like a chassis from a tube era set. Alright, with the back folded down, it's got a schematic on the back of it. This is a Royal 2000, chassis number 11 Echo Tango 40 Zulu 2. So there you have that, and yeah, like I said, it looks kind of like an old tube chassis with all these IF cans, and you got your germanium transistors plugged in up there for each stage, and looks like we got a pack of crusty old batteries here. Probably the reason why all this crap is down here and why we've got corrosion. And it's got the old rabbit ear style pull-up rod antennas. I'm just trying to get that battery pack out for now and get these old crusty batteries out of here. Looks like a plastic battery holder with looks like 8 D-cell batteries in them, and yeah, these things are leaking. It's actually wet with acid, so these need to come out of here. See, these Panasonics have a date code of 4/2001, so yeah, I'd say these things are old and they need to come out of here. They've probably been in here forever. Yep, best if used by January 2001. So I'd say this radio probably hadn't been used since the 90s, probably the late 90s sometime, 98, 99, some time frame like that. So yeah, I'm gonna get all these old crusty batteries out of here. Luckily it doesn't look like it's corroded a whole lot, so I guess I hopefully caught it in time. Besides all this, I don't know if this is damage from these batteries or damage from batteries before that. No telling. Alright, so I just took this little cover inside the house and washed it off. It was covered in battery acid, and this here is fairly clean inside. I think I might need to wipe it down with a rag in a couple of spots to get the little bit of acid that's on there off, but most of it was in the top part. So and the connections seem like they're in pretty good shape, so might have just escaped from having a big corrosion problem. Probably caught that just in the nick of time. So I'm gonna wipe this down and clean this up a little bit, and then I'm gonna see if I can't run some clip leads over from an external power supply and see if we can get this thing to do anything. Alright, so I got some clip leads just go into that switching power supply over there, which may not be the best power supply to run this on, because it's probably gonna make some noise on AM, but that's all I got right now. I got a linear power supply down there on the floor. I might move it in if the noise is too bad, but mainly I'm just trying to see if this thing works. So let's turn it around and see what we get.
We go back now to the late show with Colbert.
Oh yeah.
And Clinton continues
right on and started
his
working.
answer. It wasn't my...
Who are his torturers and effectively his murderers.
This is on AM. Let me unplug that wall wart. That didn't seem to make a lot of difference. Probably that switching power supply.
Killed all across.
Movement is long.
The FM dial isn't even moving. Well, there's 970. Maybe that's 970. I don't know. I need to hook into that linear power supply. This thing's just too noisy. Alright, so the camera seems to oscillate right at about 970, so 970 is coming in. It's pretty weak, but I can hear it. And this is some sports radio out of the same town 970's in, so it does pretty good for distance test. Not too bad, not the best, but not the worst. Sound like we got a dirty tuning capacitor. Well, I'm actually able to pick up 560. Hardly ever can pick that up here. It's about 45 miles in the other direction. WVOC, that's in Columbia, 560 AM. So that's not too bad. It's definitely more sensitive on the lower end of the band than a lot of them. But that needs to be cleaned, and this dial is going to need to be repaired because you can lean it back like that and it'll try to move, but not really. So that dial is going to need to be repaired. I don't know what's involved in doing that, but I have to figure out some way to take it out and fix that dial. And of course the thing's gonna need to be cleaned up. It's filthy and it's got all this, it looks like paint or something. I don't know what that is. It's just real dirty. It's yellow. It's probably got cigarette tar or something on it.
Life is better in a boat. Have you ever seen an unhappy person?
I'm able to pick up 1590, which is a very low power station. They play high standards, big band type music. It's a really good station. It's out of a town about 20 miles north of me, and I think they're only on about 1,000 watts. And I can pick them up inside the shop just off of whatever antennas inside this radio, so that's really good. Well, it just goes to show you Zenith quality was top notch back then, and they took no corners, cut no corners in building these things. These things are high class built, the way they're built all the way. And you know, that was back during the day where quality goes in before the name goes on, and that really really was true. And the performance of these things are definitely a lot better than a lot of the radios from the day. But anyway, yeah, so I think let's try out the FM on this thing and see what we get.
You can play for golfers at every skill level. The
Yeah,
golf
it works
instructor is
just
always
fine.
on site, and golf lessons are available.
Travel options. You can manage your account online with their mobile app by phone.
That's great change.
That's on AFC, and I've got the rabbit ear antennas out, so you know the tip of this one's broke off. Other than that, it's operable and it moves up and down, so I'm just going to leave it as is.
Absolutely.
Rush Limbaugh on News Talk.
Yeah, Rush is on FM over here too. You can't get away from him at all.
You guys are just walking in it, huh? Putting your feet right in the snow, just one after the other. Doot, doot, doot. I can't do that. Oh, look at him. He's just sliding up.
Not the sky, not shine. Like President Trump, Henry McMaster is sending tax dollars to Planned Parenthood.
Like President Trump, Henry McMaster is endorsed by the NRA.
And the endorsements keep coming.
Just in, South Carolina's Citizens for Life exclusively endorses Governor Henry McMaster in the June 12th.
You had the right to.
A kid from a big bank, but with the small town feel of home.
I never have understood why that station's on two different frequencies. You got it there and there.
Also participate. What does someone do? Someone who
That's the thing around here, is to have multiple low power stations.
You know, would you be interested
Well,
in selling this
they
home?
could
Like,
just
how
have
do you
one
get
big
them
high
to
power
show
station and get the
people?
job done, but that's not the way they do it around here.
Organizing for Action, which is the latest iteration of Obama for America and other groups.
There's all your public radio there. Alright, so it works pretty good. Alright, so after struggling with the chassis trying to get it out, and there's still some wires down there that go into the handle. I guess that's for the AM antenna. I guess it must be mounted inside the handle. So anyway, I found out our dial pointer was just laying down in there. It come unglued. Just come unglued, so we're gonna have to try and glue this back on and make sure it's pointing in the right direction. I think that's probably all the problem was. It's just that glue had turned loose after so long. Alright, so I popped the cover off the bottom of this thing. Just wanted to look at this circuitry that's in here. This is all point-to-point circuitry, as you can see. All very well built. All that circuitry for an AM FM radio. Yeah, this stuff is definitely high class. Class all the way. No corners cut on this. Very well built radio, and glad I was able to pick it up so cheap, and who knows, maybe even save it from the dumpster. I mean, you're not going to get this quality ever again. It's great quality. I was just testing a couple of these resistors that are, a few of these resistors, just kind of randomly checking them, and you know, even in the circuit, these things are still dead on. After 50 years, I mean, sure, yeah, there are going to be some of these that are probably off some, but for the most part, these resistors have held up really well, and again, another testament to the quality. Yep, this 1K here, even after 50 years, is still dead on.
Has
Alright, so I got it all back together and working. I got the cabinet cleaned up as best as I could. This grill here is rubbed off the paint, I guess from corrosion or whatever. And I got the top up here cleaned up. It was all nasty and everything. There's still some streaky looking residue, whatever is on here. I don't know whether it's paint or what. I tried to wipe it off and got some of it off, but not all of it. So anyway, thing has got a good hot receive on it, and good crisp audio, loud audio, pretty good bass in music and stuff like that. So I'm just going to do a band scan here. It's after dark, so we got some DX rolling in on AM.
First time, scored only 40 dollars. Well, I do care. That's ridiculous.
As the Cavs, just let's see, the first half, the Cavaliers with their threes, they were a factor, but in the second half,
the hottest trend in silicone testing. A huge and growing range of options. Get up to speed with the institutional ETF toolbox from Bloomberg Press. It's packed with all the facts you need to design a winning ETF strategy, as well as
Trust him all that.
Well, yeah, I mean, trust is a huge thing in every way, a sense of the word. So Frank Luntz weighed in last night.
And I believe inside of it, I saw a date code of 62. Well, the code was 1332, so I'm not sure if that's 62, but these are made from 61, I think 64. And it does have the civil defense markings on the AM side.
More people realize that they're keeping more money in their pockets. When you
surprised to hear music stations on AM. I think that's our local, maybe our local station there.
put on there, but well, some that idea might be able to help that woman out. Maybe she can give it a try.
40 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists.
Like people in terms of paying into this.
Well, there she is again.
They couldn't.
Put down the blueprint for the next year, and they do it within the 6 months of the turning of the year. So that's
sexual assault will rape. You should face serious consequences because you are weaponizing the legal system against somebody else in a way that ruins their life. And there's never an excuse for it.
That's the city double cash card that effectively pays you 2%.
Well, that's $750 out of Atlanta.
And tonight on the base pass and at the plate to pull off yet another win. So 5-2. They've won 4 of their last 6. We're going to hear from Ricky Renteria.
Had him going in the top 5. The Reds bypass. They take his teammates.
That's 650 WSM. Not sure which one that one is.
I never saw this before. It's a thing called revenge obituaries.
Some of that squealing and whining is probably a switching power supply in the house. Alright, let's go back down to bottom of the band on FM.
We go to the World Cup feeling that we are one of the most your love.
You see what great deals we have. A new 2018 F-150, 30,000 fill kit 36. Rates as low as 0%. Discounts and
over and over again. It could be PI, a defect in the immune system that affects the
You're crazy, baby, if you think that
Tuesday is June 17th, and it's fast approaching. If the special data members,
it connects us all to a different kind of power.
the power of community.
And the power of George.
Let's just run it off these rabbit ears here.
screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead.
Snow up against the side of my house, blocking the exhaust from my furnace.
I heard the smoke alarm going off in my friend's apartment.
Now, from the historical audio archives of Fox News Talk.
In January of...
What you do to me? What you do?
Hood had a game. JR had a decent game.
That's pretty number one hit music station.
All right, well, there's my early 60s Zenith R2000 or Royal 2000. Rather, not R2000. Sounds pretty good. It's playing, and by the way, we are running this off of a external 12-volt power supply. It doesn't have any AC hookup to it at all. No internal power supply for a for an AC wall outlet. So you have to run it off of batteries, and 8D batteries just so happens to be 12 volts. So we just run it off of this little power supply here, and for demonstration purposes. But anyway, that's my little Zenith, and I appreciate y'all watching. If you like the channel and like the content, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Appreciate you watching, guys. Have a good one.